Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. It's been a while. It's been a long while since I have sat down to film a video. I'm in a new place, in a new house. Lots of things have been changing. I am a married woman now. I went back to my natural hair color. I took my extensions out. We bought a home. I went on a honeymoon. Like, there have been so many things that have happened since we last talked. And honestly, I am so glad to be back on YouTube. I kind of, I'll be honest, fell out of love with it for a while and felt very uninspired, but I just got a new camera. I am super excited to be creating content for you guys, and I have so many new ideas. Now that I'm in a place that genuinely inspires me, not only the town that I live in, but also my home, there are so many different changes that are coming with the home, and I've been documenting it on TikTok and Instagram, but I can't wait to bring it to YouTube and like more long form content and like really get to show you guys how I'm decorating the house and what I'm doing and all the little updates. It is just gonna be the best. So I'm so excited. If you guys want to see more home like kind of content, any other content that you guys might want to see, maybe like fitness or cooking content or anything like that. Anyways, without further ado, I've asked you guys on Instagram to send in some questions that you guys are just dying to know about me, and I would answer them for you in this video. Figure this is a good little like chit-chatty way for us to get back into the swing of things. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. Like, it feels weird. I film videos all day, every day in like short form, but sitting down in front of this camera feels like we mean business. So yeah, I'm a little bit rusty, so please bear with me. I have your questions here on my phone. Okay, a lot of questions along the lines of how does it feel to be married, or what's it like being a wife? Did anything change? How do you feel? Blah, blah, blah. So for context, Frank was my first boyfriend. Like, I have known him for a very long time. You'd think in a relationship like that, where you've known each other 10 plus years, that things like changing your name and getting married and a legal, you know, binding of your relationship wouldn't change that much because you've already known each other for so long. And in a sense, I guess that's true, where I feel like, you know, fundamentally we're the same, but there's just been so much change happening all at once between the house, us moving and going on the honeymoon and everything, that it's like, it's hard to even process. And I've been telling all my friends this when they ask me like, how do you feel, wifey? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know. Like, it's nice in a sense because I just feel so like this is so right. Everything just feels so at peace. And yes, there's a lot happening, a lot of moving parts, so much is going on, but at the same time, you're with your person, and like, no matter what, I know we can take on the whole world together. And I felt this way as well when we got engaged, where it's like, it's just that little added bit of like, I don't want to say security, because it's not like I was insecure in the relationship before, but it's that feeling of like, yes, this is real. Like, we really both committed to each other. Like, it's something internal that you either feel it or you don't. Just internally, it's like a weird thing in my mind that like us being married has made me feel a lot closer to him. And saying my husband is pretty cool. Although I keep calling him my fiance, like I keep forgetting that he's my husband, or just like fiance slips off the tongue, so he's been my fiance for 2 years, that it just feels more natural, and I like forget that he's my husband. Some people were asking about the honeymoon. How was your honeymoon trip to Italy? Was it expensive? How many cities did you visit in Italy? So all honeymoons I feel are expensive. Like, you, no matter what you do, if you're going somewhere, for a lot of people go for like 2 weeks, and if you're traveling and all that, the dinners and blah blah blah, of course you can make it like up to your budget, but you know, like we went to Europe for almost 2 weeks, so yes, it was definitely not cheap, but to say it was like, I have heard of people spending like tens of thousands of dollars on a honeymoon. So, you know, we chose to do a wedding and a honeymoon like within the same month, and the house all at once. So it's like we had to like be smart about things, but also indulge and enjoy. It's like, yes, we went to like get a massage and do a spa day and do all these beautiful, amazing dinners, but like we didn't stay in the penthouse in every hotel that we went to. We definitely splurged the most on the first stay that we had. Like, we stayed in one of my, like, I was obsessed with this hotel before we stayed there in Sorrento, and I wanted to stay there. It was definitely on the pricier side, and our room had an ocean view, and it was just absolutely stunning. Like, this place was bougie, and beautiful, and just like gave me that like Italy coastal like beachy vibe. It was perfect. It was so stunning. I was obsessed with the whole decor of it. Like, it was just amazing. And then after that, we still stayed in really nice places, but it wasn't as, you know, extravagant as the first one, I would say. Technically, we stayed in 4 cities. Wait, Sorrento, Rome, Tuscany, and Venice, but we also visited Positano and Capri. So we toured 6 cities, but we stayed in 4, and we were there for 12 days, which was perfect. I honestly think it was amazing. It was the best. Sorrento was my absolute favorite, and like Amalfi Coast area was definitely my favorite. We decided if we would ever go back, which we definitely will, our favorite places were Sorrento and Tuscany. We loved Venice as well, but it's just a lot less, it's a lot more walking and doing things and exploring. It's still really beautiful. It's so romantic, like the gondola and everything. It's still so romantic, but it's not as like veg out and chill, versus Tuscany and Sorrento were very much relaxed, chill, beach, pool. Like, we biked through Tuscany and we ate fresh food from the farm, and we had a spa day. Like, it was so nice. And then same with Sorrento. It was very much like chill, walk around, go to the beach, swim in the pool, you know, have a cocktail. Like, it was very much giving chill. Rome was cool, but it was like, it's cool for the history, and I'm glad we went, and I'm glad we saw it, because we do both like history, and he's Italian, so it was really cool to see. Very breathtaking, a lot of the things. The Trevi Fountain was amazing, but now that I've seen it, I'm like, I don't need to see it again. And it felt a lot less safe than the other places as well. Like, Rome, definitely the pickpockets, the people that try to like distract you and, you know, take your stuff, like that was pretty crazy. But yeah, like, it was crazy too. I think it was also like torrential downpouring all day, so that was like kind of put quite literally a damper on our day. But it was really cool that when we went to the Trevi Fountain, all of a sudden it got so sunny just in that one spot, and right above the Trevi Fountain the sun like peeked out, and it was like a beautiful clear sky. The lighting was amazing. Like, it was insane. And then the second we left, it started downpouring again, which I thought was just kind of cool. I don't know. Got a few questions like, what did you do for wedding prep? You guys, I'm gonna be so for real with you. I've gotten a lot of comments about my body and asking about what exercises I've been doing and what diet and blah blah blah, and I'm gonna be so for real with you. I have had the most insane, most hectic year of my life. Between traveling for work, buying a home, living in between Frank's parents' house and my mom's house, I have not bought groceries until I moved into this house. Like, I would eat a random breakfast sandwich and like whatever I could eat in the car driving to what I needed to do. Like, I was trying to balance so many things at once that like I just didn't have as much time as I normally did to like sit down and have like 3 square meals a day plus snacks, like, and dessert, you know? For exercise, my favorite thing has been walking. I have a dog, so like with Dink, we have to do walks. So that's been like the best thing. Conveniently, the weather around my wedding was very nice. Obviously, it was a summer wedding, so I was able to do a lot of outdoor activities, just staying active overall. I would say I was doing like 20,000 steps a day, especially with like the moving process and everything. Like, there has been a lot of movement in my life, like more than ever. Some days, like even yesterday, I didn't work out. I did 12,000 steps, just like putting together things like cooking, cleaning, like doing things around the house. Today I did solid core, but that's been like one of the few things. I did like lightweight strength training workouts at the gym for like 20 minutes a couple times a week, and then I would also do a solid core workout or some kind of like Pilates type of movement. To give you guys some like tangible advice, instead of like, oh, you know, like I've just been busy. Like, I hate when people say that, and I'm sorry to be that guy, but some tangible tips is definitely focus on movement. Like, literally moving your body, not just exercising, not just like going to the gym or going to Pilates, more like walking, moving around the house, cleaning, vacuuming, like, and walking your dog, anything. Even just get one of those little treadmills that you can like watch TV and, you know, I drink a glass of wine and I walk on that treadmill. It's fine. It gets the job done and it feels good. It's so good for my mental health. Like, I primarily do it at this point for my mental health, because I genuinely feel so good, and it's so good for you. Like, walking is so easy on your joints. It's so good for your mind, body, soul, like everything. And I'm telling you, it snatches you up. Like, you won't even notice it, and you'll all of a sudden wake up and you're like, I am a brand new person. And then in terms of diet, I feel like I have had the worst, most probably unhealthy diet, but it's more about how much you're eating than what you're eating. And from a health standpoint, yes, what you're eating is very important. And I, especially in the new year and after, I have some travel coming up in the next couple months, but after that, I really want to get back on like eating whole natural foods. We live around so many farms, like our neighbors have chickens, we can get eggs from them. Like there's so much whole natural food that we could be eating instead of like me going to Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts every single day and like Chipotle. But I've just been really lenient with myself and really genuinely just like listening to my body, being in tune with my cravings, figuring out what do I actually want to eat right now? Like what would satisfy me? What sounds good to me, and then just indulging in my cravings and leaving it there, like not obsessing over it, not being like, oh, this is good, this is bad. Like, and I know this is easier said than done for a lot of people, but I'm telling you, like your body will get out of fight or flight once you allow yourself to kind of just take a breather and just like listen to your body. But yeah, in terms of tips, I think walking is the biggest one. And then like lightweight workouts or like whatever you enjoy doing. Like if you want to do some really heavy strength training, incorporate some walks here and there. And I think that combination will be absolutely lethal. Like whatever you enjoy doing, you should do that, but incorporate a little bit more movement. And I'm telling you, you'll notice a difference. Any wedding fails / mishaps? Okay, not that many, shockingly. And the more I tell people like what actually went wrong, everyone's like, wow, you got really lucky. So, you know, it could have been worse. The main debacle was with transportation. Basically, I hired a car service, like a limo for the bridesmaids and myself, and then the groomsmen and Frank. And then I got a big party bus for all of the guests to transport them all there. It came to our hotel that we had a block at, and it took them to the venue because the venue was about 30 minutes away from the city that we were staying in. The venue is in kind of more of like a rural, like suburban area, and like people were coming from out of town. I wanted them to have a city to hang out in and be able to do stuff in, and we ended up going out there after the wedding and all that. It just made more sense, okay? So because of that, I was providing transportation. Now, this bus could hold up to, I believe, like 30 people or something. It was a big party bus with the lights and everything, and like, it was supposed to be great. And for the people who were staying at the hotel, I calculated it where it would have basically fit perfectly. Now, what happened was, I'm in the middle of getting ready, putting my dress on. I'm already at the venue. Like we took the limo, me and the girls. The limo went back to pick up the boys, and I am in the process of like getting ready, putting my dress on. We're taking photos with the photographer, and I get a call from my husband-to-be saying that the guests, his sister and like a bunch of the other guests that were staying at the hotel, have no party bus to pick them up. Like they're supposed to be at the venue very, very soon, and no one has showed up to pick them up. And I'm like, what? So I get on the phone, I'm frantic. I call the car company, they're like, hold on, let's contact the driver, like blah, blah, blah. This lady calls me back and she's like, so the driver has already picked up your guests and brought them to the venue. I was like, that's impossible because the guests are still at the hotel. Like there's no way. Come to find out, my husband and his 6 groomsmen got onto a 30-person party bus instead of their limo and took that to the venue. And the guy driving it obviously had no clue who he was taking. He probably assumed that was all the guests that we had. However, the limo was parked like to the side, and I guess the party bus was parked right in front. So boys thinking like, oh, this must be our limo. So they got on, they took it, and my guess, like I think the limo fit like 10 people comfortably. 10 people had to squeeze, all strangers, had to squeeze into a limo together, and then the rest of the people had to Uber, which was just kind of embarrassing because I had paid for the party bus for their convenience. Like, it was really annoying. And then I'm also dealing with this on my wedding day, and literally my photographer had to step in and be like, dude, like this needs to not be a you problem. Like somebody else needs to figure this out. So thank God for one of my bridesmaids, Elisa. She like handled everything. Everything was fine. Honestly, love her life. Like she really saved the day. Another thing, this is a huge tip for brides. Hire a seamstress or like find somebody who is a designated dress steamer, because I was steaming my own dress because the girls were all steaming their dresses. Me, my friend Ray, and the photographer were all steaming my dresses because we waited until we got to the venue. This dress weighed 10 pounds. It was absolutely massive. By the time I had finished steaming my dress, my hair was basically flat. Like, thank God we got all the photos we needed to get, and it honestly was still fine, but I don't like a super curly, crazy hairstyle. Like I wanted it to be very much kind of like this, but like more voluminous, just like a nice, simple blowout, a little bit of a flippy bang, like straight, but like blown out. That doesn't hold very well in like 80-degree weather when you're running around in a 10-pound dress with a 10-pound veil, like literally trying to take photos outside. We had some photos where like Frank and I were like running up a hill barefooted. And like after that, when we sat down to eat dinner, I was looking at some photos, like my hair was straight. It was fully straight, which is fine. It still looked nice. Like it's not the biggest deal, but like that was one thing. I felt like my hair and makeup like from photos had melted off, and I opted for a more natural look with my hair and my makeup. The only thing like I guess I could have done is put my hair up, but I really didn't want to. Like the first thing that Frank said to me when he saw me walk down the aisle was that he loved my hair and how he loved the side part, and it reminded him of when he first met me. And like I loved my hair too. Like I wanted it to be that like classic romantic, like simple, just kind of sweet and I don't know, not innocent, but like, you know, like just a simple classic, not super like sultry crazy. And I didn't want like a slick back. I just didn't think, I didn't want that. So I had to reap what I sowed. And unfortunately what I sowed was flat hair by the end of the night, because I also danced my absolute ass off and was drenched in sweat by the time we left. Like they were throwing us up in the air. Like we were just having an absolute ball. I was twerking on my girlfriends. Like it was so much fun. Every single person at the wedding was on the dance floor by the end of the night. Like they could barely kick us out. And then the only other mishap was again the transportation going back. I had 2 shuttles, one at 10:30, one at 11. And no one went on the 10:31. I think there was 3 people that went on the 10:31. Every single other person wanted to leave on the late one, which is great. I'm glad they had a good time. That means like nobody wanted to leave. However, that meant that we all had to squeeze, which was a big debacle. Like I think like 5 people Ubered, but the rest of us all squeezed on this party bus, which kind of unsafe, but it was actually ended up being like the most fun. I think so many people told me like that party bus ride back was so fun and like one of their highlights of the whole night. One of our guy friends actually ended up paying the driver extra money, like cash, just so we could take that party bus and like drive it to a dive bar down the street and like keep the party going. So it was a mishap, but it overall ended up good, if that makes sense. Do you want to have children? If so, when do you think you're going to try? We do want to have children, but the thing is, when is a question. It is like duh, but I don't fully know. I think I need at least a year to feel grounded. Like we have been nomads for the last 2 years, moving from LA, living between our parents' houses, like finally finding a house, doing all these renovations to the house, finding furniture for the house. Like I still feel unsettled. I'm sitting in this closet room that eventually is going to be my closet, and right now it's empty. It's literally just white walls and a clothing rack. So it still feels like a hot mess, and I could not imagine. Some people get pregnant on their honeymoon, pop off. Like I love that for you, but could not be me, because I don't feel settled at all. I want to live as husband and wife peacefully and like have even just 1 year of living in this house where I don't have to think about anything. Like I just need to be chill. I don't have a puppy anymore. There's no baby in my stomach, like nothing, you know, everything's chill. And then of course, like we both want a big family and we both want children. But then it's like, you know, God willing, that can all happen. You don't really know until you try, and you don't know how long it's gonna take and all that kind of jazz. So I would say at least a year, but we definitely do want children. And you guys will know when I know. Okay, another question about weddings. Sorry, a lot of this is wedding related. If you don't care about that, then sorry, next one won't be. Wedding do's and don'ts. I would say for don'ts, like don't worry so much about other people's opinions and what you think you should do. There's no rules. Technically, you can do whatever you want. Like I didn't do a first dance, or I'm sorry, I didn't do a father-daughter dance or a mother-daughter dance. My father unfortunately passed, and I didn't want to do a dance with my mom. I love my mom, but like I felt it would be silly, and I was really feeling uncomfortable about it, so I didn't do it. I didn't want to dance with my brother or some other family member. Like I just didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Like it is your day. Your day. Frank! Can you not zap bugs for 5 minutes, please, so I can finish this? I'm almost done. My husband got this like electric bug zapper, and it's his favorite thing in the world because we now like live in the woods, so we have hella bugs, and all he does, all I hear all day is like these bugs are getting absolutely annihilated, and I kind of feel bad for them, but it's his favorite toy, and sorry if you heard that noise. But anyways, yeah, wedding do's and don'ts. I would say, yeah, don't really care about other people's opinions or like what you think you need to do or like what the standard is or this and that. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. And also, don't have a wedding if you don't want to have a wedding. There's so much pressure nowadays, I feel like, to have this like Instagrammable wedding and like have the big shebang, and like there's so much pressure from family members and older family members that like want you to do this. But I tell every person that I know that's newly engaged, like, if you're even on the fence, if you even kind of just want to elope, but you feel this pressure and you feel like it's something you should do, don't do it. My wedding was the best day of my life. To this day, like, I am so happy we did it, and I do not regret it a single penny, a single tear, a single, you know, ounce of stress that I felt planning that wedding. I don't regret it at all. I'm so happy we did it. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I felt so loved and so happy and just like literally just over the moon. But if it's not what you want, I knew I would feel that way because I wanted this wedding. Like, we both did. If you and your partner are on the fence and you don't know if you want to do it, don't do it. I'm just saying, like, do what you want, but don't do it. Like, just literally elope and have a family party and get like gifts, you know? Like, I'm telling you. Also, another wedding do, I guess this is more like engagement do, but drag out that engagement, girlfriend. Like, I thought a 2-year engagement was so long, I couldn't wait to get married, blah blah blah. Oh my god, I miss that first excitement of like being a fiance and getting everything white and like wearing the bride clip and like having bride on your bag. I know it's corny, like, even if you're not into the corny stuff, like, it's still so fun, and it's, knock on wood, a once in a lifetime type thing. Like, if we're marrying forever, you know what I mean, till death do us part, like, you're never gonna experience that ever again. So some people, yes, if it's what you want to do, like, get married quick, whatever, but like, if I could give any advice about engagement, like, drag that shit out. Drag it out, girl. Like, really, really bask in it, really enjoy it. Like, let your friends pamper you, like, have that corny stuff, like, go on a fun bachelorette with all your girlfriends. Like, I'm telling you, until you experience it, you don't even realize how much you actually want that stuff and how much it's actually really fun. Unless you don't. And in that case, that's also cool, and do you. But enjoy it, like, seriously. Okay, and then lastly, I got a few questions about hair, so we're gonna end this on kind of a vain note, but we're gonna talk about my hair. I just recently actually took out my hair extensions. So this is my hair, no extensions. This question was sent in before I did that, but they were like asking about which hair products I use and how I take care of my hair. My hairstylist actually told me that I took such good care of my hair that my extensions were able to last a year, over a year actually, and she was like, that doesn't always happen. Like, there are a lot of cases where people run their things into the ground and they literally have to get new extensions after like 6 months, less than that. So that's just kind of a testament to me taking care of my hair. I think I wash it around twice a week max. The most heat I really use is like my Dyson. Sometimes I'll use a curling iron, but it's usually like, I'll use a curling iron if I air dry it and let it like do its natural wavy thing, and then I'll just like wrap a few pieces. Like, I try not to go overboard on the heat, especially because as a model, your hair is constantly being pulled and yanked and heat styled and everything, and they probably don't use a heat protectant. So that is another tip too. Like, if you're a model, spray your heat protectant before you go on any job. Like, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And what else? Oh, I use a hair oil. I've been using that for years, the rosemary oil from Miel, I believe. You can get it on Amazon, or I've seen it at TJ Maxx and like Target as well. So that stuff is amazing. I use like one of those massagey scalp brush thingies, and it's absolutely incredible. And then what else? I use a nice hair mask. I use a deep conditioner as my actual conditioner. I'm very gentle with the way I brush it. Like, I hold it and then I kind of go through gently instead of like, I used to like really yank it. But now that I have taken out my extensions, I'm back on my healthy hair grind. I'm so bad at the pills, like the Nutrafol and all that. I've bought them so many times and I never stick to it because I don't know why, like I hate the taste of them. It's like 4 pills. And I'm scared people say about biotin that it makes your skin break out. So I'm like afraid I'm gonna fix one problem and ruin another. I don't know if I break out from it, so I guess I'm just gonna have to try, but like I don't want to cross that bridge. But yeah, like honestly, I could use some help in the supplement department when it comes to hair, because I'm back on my healthy hair journey. We're trying to grow this hair luscious and thick. Like it's good. It's nice. Like I like it. I don't have, you know, terrible hair, but she could be better. She could be better. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one.